And in this particular game, um, my feeling before the game was to drop Gordon and to whatever you did to make sure that Barnes was on the left from the start. That was my feeling. I mean, with the formation itself, I agree, Jefferson. Like in hindsight, you look at it and you think, well, we should have just went 4-3-3 to begin with. Although, I said before the game, I think just stick to the same formation because you can push up the wide centre backs and not make it defensive. And I would have, if I'd stuck that with our formation and Trippier was fit, you could have Trippier wing back, Murphy on the right, further up, and Barnes on the left with Gordon on the bench. But I think that was one of the frustrations in that, you've got Ashley Young at right back, and Gordon can't get any change out of him. Like he knows absolutely no way he's been good enough since he's came back. That is for sure. And it is frustrating. I'm seeing Harvey Barnes on the right. He can't get into the game. Even when he gets the ball the odd time, you can see he's hardly any touches, so he's not doing anything. It's not his best position. You're not going to get the best out of him on the right. He's either centre or left, really. And I love Eddie Howe. I think obviously he's been brilliant, but I think he seems to be accommodating Gordon too much. I mean, you talk about selling players and stuff. I mean, again, I'm not saying Gordon's a really bad player, but if you want to sell players to make money and buy a few players for one, if you got 70 million for Gordon, I don't think it's the worst idea to refresh that side of the team, or at least the other side with the right side. And you've got Barnes there. I'm a big Harvey Barnes fan. For me, I'd be happy with Harvey Barnes on the left, but you can spend big on a new winger who can play right, maybe on left, and a young winger who can come in as an understudy. But I mean, just to go back to the game, just while I'm speaking, just to tell you what I thought overall when I was watching it, like it was one of the most stressful games, if not the most stressful game I've ever watched. It was just unbelievable, the tension. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching these players, and I'm nervous before the game, but I'm watching it. I'm thinking, well, hopefully the lads will come out and they'll put my nerves, to bed, because they'll create some early chances and stuff, and it'll all settle down. And I'm watching them, and it wasn't absolutely terrible, the first 20 minutes, but it was a bit shaky. But it's like, okay, we're feeling our way in. But the longer the game went on, it's like they were playing with lead in the boots. They couldn't run, and you could clearly see the occasion and the pressure got them, and it was too much. It was absolutely too much for them. And I know what you're saying, Chris. About we need to sort that out. I would caveat that by saying, obviously we had the Arsenal home game. Granted, we were 2-0 up, but the League Cup semi-final, and we turned up for that. It was pressure on it to finish the job. We did. We had the cup final, and we had 70 years of hurt on the player's shoulders going into that game, and they did it. So I'll give them credit for that. I don't think it's totally one way, but I think with this game, I think it's because everyone outside of Newcastle, and even within Newcastle, some people were saying, no, it's a home banker. We should do it. And you go into the game with everyone thinking this is cut and dry, and it's like it's a different type of pressure. And they're human, they're human beings. So you could understand that, but ultimately they couldn't handle that, and it was just honestly.
It just makes you think, and obviously the bigger picture is now we're looking at the future with Champions League. It couldn't be better. In the season, once we do the review on the season on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. with
You're
Gary
frozen,
Wynn.
by the way, Chris.
Sorry. That's going to be my damn thing is frozen here. But that's going to be in itself. We had a great season, the best season ever. It's most Toon fans winning a trophy. That's massive. But things are only going to get tougher. So if we couldn't handle Everton at home, that's things are only going to be tougher. We don't know who we're going to get in the group of the Champions League, but you can.
Yeah, but Chris, but I'm not worried about that. In that, you go into those games against those teams, it's a different dynamic. This was a game where you are expected to win, and everybody is looking at this game saying Newcastle are home bankers to be one of the teams in the Champions League in this race on the final day. It's a different dynamic. And kind of what you're saying there, Roy, in terms of playing lower mid-table teams who give you the ball and you have the possession to dominate the game, and the onus is on you to create. That's where I think there has been some struggles. And even when we lose the ball in those games, we're kind of sometimes wide open, and all of a sudden there's panic stations. Like with the Everton game, there was times we lost the ball, and it's like, crap, Everton are breaking here out the blue. And so I think that's, like I said, the Champions League is exciting, and I'm not too worried. I think that'll be brilliant, but it's more that the mental side of these particular games where you are very much expected to win. Like I say, the human, and ultimately as well, just to say, it is a 38-game season, and whether that happened, at the start of the season or the end of the season, ultimately we finished where we deserve to finish. So you've got to look at the whole picture, that with whole season. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and let that performance put a dampener on the achievement of the season and what we've earned.
But
right,
here's the thing as well. Who's the team yesterday that brought the bacon home? Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea helped us out as well.
Chelsea did what they needed to do. Why did they do it? Because they've got the biggest squad of everybody, because they've got the most money of everybody, and because they used to it.
It ain't got nothing to do with it, man.
Because they used to it.
Used to what? What has Chelsea got to used to?
Players.
Used to win what?
Players win.
What has Chelsea won?
Champions Leagues.
Who? Drogba. Is Drogba playing right now? Or am I missing something?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter when.
Because the three clubs that didn't bring the bacon home
No.
are the three new
That has
kids on
nothing
the block.
to do with the poor. I actually had to watch the game over
So
because
you say.
I actually okay. Well, yeah, of course I'm saying it for myself. That's who I speak for. Just me. I don't know. I guess that's breaking news. But anyway, I had to watch the game over obviously because I didn't watch it while I was at church doing bigger and better things. However, I mean, am I wrong by saying that the players look like lack of attitude, lack of anything? They couldn't run. They were playing in the altitude, man. What does that have to do with not having anybody to come in the second half, anybody to be substituted? What does that have to do with that?
I'm not saying that they didn't have the right.
Okay, then.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the attitude in themselves. What I'm saying is the occasion proved too big for them. The froze.
Don't forget to smash the like button. It helps us a lot to keep growing. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Activate all notifications. That way you get notified every time we go live. And don't forget, you can become a member. Get exclusive content. Access to all of our live shows on demand at the time that you want. Also, of course, giveaways every month. Sometimes multiple giveaways a month. So stay tuned for that. Check it out. Help support the channel. It's a small fee. And of course, you help us and grow. If you hate the Mackhams, smash that like button.
To save the bleeding races. When we got the wheel put on, away we went again. But them that had their noses broke, they came back our him. Some went to the dispensary, and some to Dr. Gibbs's, and some to the informer.